Okay, here we have the Rosewill FBM-01 computer case. This is a Micro-ATX format computer case. And we're going to take a look at what comes in the box. Looks like it's in good condition. First thing we'll do in the unboxing is to open the box. Very carefully, because I don't want to destroy the box. I'd like to be able to keep it in case I move, or if I need to send it back if there's any broken parts. It's very well packed in here. And here we have it. Good packaging. Lots of styrofoam to keep it from moving around. So we'll just take that one off. And we'll take that one off. And right here on the top, you've got a user manual, which just has some basic stuff in it, like your parts, your screws. Some people think that's handy. And of course, we have the protective wrapping, which we'll take off carefully. This is a nice looking black painted case, which will look very well in your living room or wherever you're going to put the computer. You've got the front covered with some protective plastic. Just take off the protective sheet, and here we have it. Now the side panels are held on by these nice little thumb screws, which makes it real easy for doing work on the inside. You don't need a screwdriver to undo these, as they're only tightened hand tight. So we do that, and you've got a nice little grip over here. And as you can see, on the inside is where they pack all the good stuff, all the parts. They give you a bag of all the screws you'll need, as well as the case speaker and the brass standoffs where the motherboard will be screwed into. And this would be your power cord. They've got that tied right up over here. Okay, you'll need one of these, of course, for the power supply at the back. And what else do we have here? It comes with a 450 watt power supply right here, and plenty of power leads right over here. And as you can see, the interior doesn't have a lot of room. It does have your two 5 1/4 inch drive bays, your 3 1/2 inch drive bays right here. You've got room for 2 hard drives here, two optical drives right there. The case does come with 2 fans. Got a rear fan and a front fan. Okay. So what we have here is a bunch of power leads. Just undo that. Okay. This is what they give you in the 450 watt power supply. As you can see, you've got your main power connector. You've got the 12 volt. These actually fit together. Like that. This is your 8-pin. There's 2 serial ATA power connectors for your drives. You've got another 6-pin here, and you've got 2 serial ATAs here. You've got a total of 4 serial ATA power connectors. And you've got 2 4-pin power connectors. So there's basically enough power here to power everything that you could put into this computer case. Of course, it is a small case, so there's not a lot of room. You've got a large 80mm fan here at the rear. And there are mounting holes here where you could put a larger fan in here, replace this one if you'd like. And of course this goes onto the motherboard. You've got your expansion bays right here. You've got 4 expansion bays in the back for things like a video card. These are the connectors from the front case wires, like the power button, reset button. That's what all those are. And of course, power connector here for the 120mm front fan. There is a front fan here. The inside of the case is not painted, but it seems to be pretty decent quality. Of course, again, there isn't a lot of room here, so you'll have to be using a lot of cable ties, tie wraps, to keep all this stuff from becoming too messy in there. You'll have to do a very good job at cable management in here. The other side of the case also has a thumb screw. So let's take off this side. As you can see, this is the left side. There is no room over here for cable management. It's pretty much flat. There's no opening here for cooling the CPU or the motherboard. It's pretty much basic on that side. And of course we have the front these are your two optical drive bays. You've got one external 3.5-inch drive bay here. You can mount a card reader, which is what I'm going to do. You've got two USB 2.0. You've got your microphone and you've got your headset speakers. If you want to listen to music in a headset right here. This is a power button, reset button. And of course, nice little black finish here with a little trim. And we will need to remove the front cover. Okay, we now have the front case open. As you can see, there's these white clips, 6 of them, and they pop right into these holes here. And you've got your punch-out plate. If you're going to install a CD drive, a DVD drive on the top, you don't need to remove one. If you're going to install 2 of them, you'll need to punch out this one. The 3.5-inch drive here, you'll need to punch this out if you're going to install a card reader or anything else in here, which I'm going to do. And as you can see, this is just the back of the wiring from the inside. You'll also need to pop out these panels right here, but they just snap in, so they're not meant to be broken, as they can be put back in if you decide not to have a drive stick through it. But there's 2 and 1. So we're going to go ahead and build this thing now. Okay, I'm back. This is after the build. This is what the inside of the Rosewill FBM-01 looks like. As you can see, everything fits. I've got the wires cable wrapped, tie wrapped. 450 watt power supply is doing well. And CPU fan, rear case fan. As you can see, I've got an add-on video card that takes up 2 slots on the rear, 2 of the expansion slots. And there's plenty of room for it. As you can see, we have a front fan here, which is plugged into system fan on the motherboard. And in the hard drive bays, it looks pretty busy in there, but what I've got is a 500 gig hard drive, and on top of that is a solid state drive. And because the drive bay is the solid state drive is smaller, I'm only able to secure that with 1 screw. So as you can see, it's not exactly straight. Like that. There is a bracket that I could buy. The bracket, however, would turn this bay into 2 solid state bays. So when I'm ready to replace this hard drive, I'll probably get the bracket because I'll probably end up getting a solid state drive. And serial ATA, as you can tell. Above that, I've got my card reader, and in front of the case, there's the front of the card reader, and the back of the card reader, which has a power plug and a USB. It's also compatible with a floppy disk, but of course I don't use that anymore. And going up to the top bay, I have only 1 drive, 1 optical drive, DVD writer, of course serial ATA, so I've got the power supply, and just to keep all the excess power cords that I'm not using. Put them in there. Get them out of the way. So this is the finished product, as you can see. It's about the best I can do for cable wrapping, and everything fits. I was surprised. I thought it was kind of a small case. As you can see, you're going to want to put your motherboard in first because the hard drive sticks out. And if you can see, all the way in the back there, my RAM is just under this hard drive. There may be space for another stick of RAM in that second black slot back there. Hopefully someday, if I ever expand my memory. But that's what they mean by it being tight. If you had two of these hard drives, one right above the other, well, it certainly would be a little bit tighter than my setup with a short card reader, internal card reader. So yes, this case is tight on the inside, but for a typical standard system, it should do fine. And of course, I've got a pretty big video card on here. It has its own fan right there, and it's a pretty big big chunk of hardware. But it fits. So that is the inside of this Rosewill FBM-01 after installation.